That's the hook? Good morning. I'd like to call to order the Ramsey County Board of Commissioners. Roll call, please.
Jebin Singh.
Here.
McGuire.
Here.
McMurtry.
Here.
Miller is excused. Moran.
Here.
Zhang.
Here.
And Ortega.
Aye. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Land Acknowledgement, Commissioner McMurtry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Everett community owes its existence and vitality to generations from around the world who contributed their hopes, dreams, and energy to making the history that led to this moment. Some were brought here against their will. Some were drawn to leave their distant homes in hope of a better life. And some have lived on this land since time immemorial. Truth and acknowledgement are critical to building mutual respect and connection across all barriers of heritage and difference. We are standing on the ancestral lands of the Dakota people. We want to acknowledge the Ojibwe, the Ho-Chunk, and the other nations of people who also call this place home. We pay respects to their elders, past and present. Please take a moment to consider the treaties made by the tribal nations that entitle non-Native people to live and work on traditional Native lands. Consider the many legacies of violence, displacement, migration, and settlement that bring us together here today. And please join us in uncovering such truths at any and all public events.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion on the agenda of May 5th, 2026.
So moved. Second.
Seeing no discussion, roll call.
McMurtry.
Aye.
Miller is excused. Moran.
Aye.
Zhang.
Aye.
Jebin Singh.
Aye.
McGuire.
Aye.
And Ortega.
Aye. I'll entertain a motion on the minutes of April 26, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Seeing no discussion, roll call.
McMurtry.
Aye.
Miller is excused. Moran.
Aye.
Zhang.
Aye.
Jebin Singh.
Aye.
McGuire.
Aye.
And Ortega.
Aye. We now have a proclamation for American Indian Month. Commissioner McMurtry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. With today's proclamation, Ramsey County recognizes May as American Indian Month, a time to reflect, celebrate, and acknowledge with the American Indian community we serve. It is a time to remember where we've been and where we are committed to going and the shared work required to get there. Over the past year, Ramsey County has partnered with the American Indian community on efforts such as the 2nd Judicial District's tribal flag installation, community-centered employee learning opportunities, and increased participation in community events. These actions reflect our commitment to being a consistent ally, using the tools of government to support the well-being of American Indian families. Ramsey County remains dedicated to strengthening partnerships with the community, recognizing that this work is ongoing and essential to supporting the health, prosperity, and future of the American Indian community. And I want to give a quick shout out. She's not here today, but our colleague, our trailblazing colleague, Commissioner Miller, wanted to send her best regards. She wished she could be here as well, but she is taking a much needed time away with her family. So I know that she wishes she could be here. I will go ahead and read the proclamation and then hand it over to whoever wants to give remarks, and then we'll do pictures and introductions. Whereas American Indian Month is celebrated every year in the month of May to recognize as an important time to celebrate the rich and diverse cultures, traditions, and histories, and to acknowledge the important contributions of the American Indian people. And whereas throughout May, American Indian organizations and tribal urban offices open their doors to community and allies, offering meaningful opportunities to highlight the strength, resilience, and contributions of American Indian families while fostering connection, across generations. And whereas it is also an opportune time to educate the general public about its vibrant urban community and tribes, raise a general awareness about the unique challenges American Indian people have faced both historically and in the present, and the ways in which tribal nations and citizens have worked to conquer these challenges. And whereas Ramsey County continues in its unwavering support and commitment to reducing barriers experienced by our American Indian families and the responsibilities associated with this work through the permanent placement of a dedicated staff liaison, the American Indian Relations Administrator. And whereas the name Ramsey County uncovers the truths and long-standing impact, harm, genocide, and racism at the direction of Governor Ramsey to forcefully remove the area's American Indian residents from their homelands, including the declaration that Sioux Indians of Minnesota must be exterminated or driven forever beyond the borders of the state, which led to the lynching of 38 Dakota men in Mankato on December 26, 1862. And whereas leaders from our American Indian community and Ramsey County will participate in a collaborative learning cohort 2026 to focus on shared learning, strategy development, and goal alignment to strengthen our collective impact and further our work as partners for the betterment of American Indian families and children. And whereas the land in present day known as Ramsey County is located on the ancestral and contemporary lands of the Dakota, Oyate, and has been home to the American Indian people of Turtle Island since time immemorial, and without whom the building of this county would not have been possible, and holds great historical, spiritual, and personal significance for its original stewards. And whereas we recognize and honor the treaties made over a century ago by tribal nations and the United States government that entitle non-Native people to live and work on traditional Native lands, now, therefore, be it proclaimed, the Ramsey County Board of Commissioners declares May 2026 as American Indian Month in Ramsey County in order to promote appreciation, healing, reconciliation, understanding, friendship, and continued partnership with the American Indian community. And be it further proclaimed, the Ramsey County Board of Commissioners encourages all residents in the community to honor and celebrate the many American Indian Minnesotans and Ramsey County residents that remind us daily of our rich American Indian history. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners, County Manager, and community. My name is Dakota. I'm a Black and Native young person. I'm also Two-Spirit, and I want to thank you not just for the invitation, but for making space for this conversation. Because for me, this isn't just about recognition. It is about responsibility. Right now, being Native, especially as a young person, means carrying a lot. We're living in a time where our identities, our histories, and even our right to exist can feel politicized, debated, and dismissed. And as a Two-Spirit person, I feel that pressure even more. There's a constant weight of knowing that I have to protect my community, protect our culture, protect who we are. Not just in big, visible ways, but in everyday moments, and how we show up, and how we speak, and how we refuse to disappear. Because the truth is, our communities have always had to fight to be seen, to be heard, and to survive the systems that were never built for us. But survival is not the goal, and it shouldn't be the expectation we place on our youth. Our Native youth deserve more than survival mode. They deserve to build their lives on solid ground where they can dream, create, lead, and exist fully as themselves without carrying the constant burden of proving their worth or defending their identity. And that's where I want to speak directly to this room. We have a shared obligation, not just to recognize Native communities during this month, but to actively create the conditions where our young people can thrive. And that starts with listening to our youth, not as future leaders, but as leaders right now. Because we already are navigating these systems. We are already seeing where they fall short, and we are already holding solutions rooted in lived experience, culture, and community. When voices are missing from decision-making spaces, the policies created often miss the reality on the ground. But when you bring us in, not just to speak, but to shape, you create something stronger, something more honest, something that actually works. So my ask is this: make space for Native youth voices consistently, not just today. Invest in our communities in ways that honor our leadership, our culture, and our lived experience. And recognize that protecting Native youth means creating a future where they don't have to fight to just exist. Because my community carries this responsibility with us every single day, but it shouldn't be ours to carry alone. We all have a role in building a world where Native youth can stand on solid ground, not survival mode. And I believe that that world is possible if we choose to build it together. Thank you.
Bonjour, Anine. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Chair, Board of Commissioners, and County Manager Ling Becker. I first want to express my thanks to our young person and their very powerful words, but I also want to acknowledge who's not here today, and that's LaVon. LaVon was scheduled to speak today, so she did send forward some words. Hayana Weshte. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is LaVon Lee, longtime community member. It is a good day to honor relationship between the American Indian community and Ramsey County. When our community began celebrating our culture and contributions with American Indian Day, then American Indian Week, and now American Indian Month. We celebrated humbly across organizations, honoring and celebrating our culture. Today, we celebrate the relationship between the American Indian community and Ramsey County. Our community is honored to be recognized in the presentation of official proclamation acknowledging American Indian Month and our presence and place in St. Paul. Today's proclamation affirms the strong and respectful relationship between Ramsey County and the American Indian community, working in partnership to address the disparities the impacting community. Thank you, and we encourage you to take advantage of many educational, cultural, and special events taking place across the Twin Cities. And if I may, I will read mine. First, I want to recognize Saint over here. She's wearing red. So this day also recognizes the National Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Two-Spirit Boys. So I just want to take a moment to recognize that. And most of our families are deeply impacted by those losses. Bonjour, relatives, good morning. Miigwech for the opportunity to be here today and to stand in space in recognition of American Indian Month. I want to begin by acknowledging that we are gathered on Dakota homelands. This place, known as Ramsey County and the city of St. Paul, holds deep meaning. This is not just where we are, it is a part of the Dakota creation story that truth matters. It grounds us in understanding, responsibility, and relationship. American Indian Month is a time of recognition, but also a reminder that our people are still here. A reminder that our cultures, languages, and traditions were never lost, only fought for, protected, and carried forward. And a reminder that the work in front of us is not just about acknowledgement, but about action. We come from generations of resilience. Despite policies meant to erase us, our communities continue to rise, strong, rooted, and guided by teachings. Today, our young people are learning their languages. They are reclaiming their ceremony. They are stepping into leadership. And yet, too often, their voices are still missing from the very spaces where decisions are being made about our lives, their lives. That is why it is so important that we not only recognize this month, but that we create space for Native youth and young adults to be seen, to be heard, and to lead. Through St. Paul Indians in Action, we are working to build spaces grounded in culture, relationship, and healing, spaces where young people can thrive in safety and wholeness. We are also grateful for the partnership and support of Ramsey County leadership, that of County Manager Ling Becker, in walking alongside community in this work and supporting initiatives that move us forward, better outcomes for our people. This moment, this recognition matters. But what matters even more is what comes next. How do we continue to show up? How we listen? How we invest in community-led solutions? How we honor not only our presence, but our inherent right to thrive. Miigwech for being here, miigwech for your commitment, and miigwech for walking with us in this work.
All right, if we can, I don't know if any other commissioners had any words to share, but we can do a picture and then have folks introduce themselves.
Just quickly, just thank you so much for all of the work you do. I see faces up here today who are impacting our community in so many different ways and also informing the work that we do every day at the county. It's important that you're here day in and day out and that your voices are heard. And it's about a year and a quarter that some of us have been sitting here, and the fact that your faces are so familiar is a testament to your tenacious professionalism to be here and to show up every day to make sure that your community's voices are centered. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Maishan?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and overall, just thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you to especially the leadership that has brought the county and held the county accountable and working so much more deeply with the community and holding us at both accountability and grace of working together, what it really means, especially with the work in St. Paul Indians in Action. I see the work expanding outside of the circle here too, that it's a living document that's being embedded into the Met Council too. I'm on the Transportation Advisory Board, and we are actively seeing the work that you are all doing. It's reflected in that, and even in the transportation plans overall of how are we working with our Indigenous communities in making sure that they're active participants and actively shaping their lives. So thank you all for that work.
Nina?
Good morning. It is so good to see you all here this morning and to just take a moment, because this moment is not just about this moment. It is a moment of history that goes way back and that go back way too long of trying to just make our Indigenous community extinct, invisible. But I want to say, Dakota, we heard you. We heard the words that come from our young people, that we have to honor and allow our young people to lead and to be at the table when we're making decisions. The vision that you have, the vision that is needed needs to come directly from those, our young people, and those who are being impacted. So I just want to say thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for just standing. Just thank you for allowing Ramsey County to have a partnership with you and your community and your youth and the elders. And yes, keep us connected, keep us focused, continue to bring the vision that is needed in the way that it needs to be, because only you can do that in a way that's going to elevate and lift up the Indigenous community, not only in Ramsey County, but across this state. So we appreciate you, we see you, and thank you for the partnership.
Thank you. I'd like to thank you all for being here. I've worked with many of you in the past. John and I go back to when I was the CEO at Clues. And Lavon Lee, give her my regards. I was here 6 months when I first met Lavon Lee, and we've been friends ever since when I was going to grad school. So, but I got to say, we've been working with you folks, with the community for a good 20 years. And I am personally proud to say we now have a Native American county commissioner, completing the diversity of this board. So thank you for all you've done, and we will continue the partnership.
All right, if we can try to just get between the two gold columns, kind of like angle them towards the center a little bit. Thank you. All right, I'll take 3 pictures. Have that. 3, 2, 1. Okay, 3, 2, 1. And 1 more. 3, 2, 1.
We'll
have folks introduce themselves as we're wrapping up. Those who want to.
How about if I start?
Yeah.
I forgot to announce my name. Nindana Sikwe, member of the White Earth Nation of Ojibwe. Sherry Reimers, chair of St. Paul Indians in Action. Thank you.
Again, my name is Dakota. I'm with Minnesota Coalition for the Homeless Policy Fellow and the Ramsey County Youth Advisory Board for Heading Home Ramsey.
Good morning, John Day. I'm a community member.
Hanawash Day, Tara Bruning with American Indian Family and Children's Services.
Sadie Hart with Anda Young Center.
Kristen Kinney, the Executive Director at the American Indian Family Center in St. Paul and the Vice Chair of SIA. So, good morning.
Buju St. Sice. I am the American Indian Relations Specialist here at Ramsey County, and I also co-lead our Manwan Dubiwug Employee Resource Group.
Buju Ani Nindinawe Magani Dug Makuns Indigenous Cause Melissa Indigu Makwan Indudem Gazaka Squadri Me Cognin Dunjaba. My name is Melissa Perez, and the spirits know me as Little Bear. I'm from the Bear Clan and Leech Lake Band of Ojibwe. I said hello, all my relatives. And I'm part of the Mawandubi Wug ERG, and I also work at the Ramsey County Correctional Facility as a health education program assistant.
Bonjour, hi, I'm Tony McGurr. I'm with the Interfaith Action of Greater St. Paul's Department of Indian Work, Program Manager for Youth Enrichment and the Economic Mobility Hub. Thank you.
Buju Ginawa, Nicole Dean, and the American Indian Relations, oh my gosh, my title, American Indian Relations Administrator with Ramsey County. And then I just want to thank everyone for allowing us to be here. And then Elder Poupart said everyone knows who he is. So shout out to that.
Bonjour, I'm Monica Rothday. I'm a community member and I'm social work faculty at Metro State.
Bonjour, I'm Carol LaFleur, and some of you already know me. I'm with Metro Transit Police Department. I'm our American Indian liaison, but I'm also a descendant of Mille Lacs Band of Ojibwe, so thank you for having us all today.
Thank you. Now we'll have a proclamation for Correctional Officers Week. Commissioner Moran.
We have a few more coming. All right. Welcome. This week, we recognize the dedication and professionalism of correctional officers and staff across the country, including those serving right here in Ramsey County at the Sheriff's Office and Community Correction Department. It is a time for appreciation, awareness, and respect for the profession that often works behind the scenes, but is essential to the safety and well-being of our community. Correctional officers and staff are on the front line of public safety, working in one of the most challenging and demanding environments in the public service. Effective correctional services not only ensure safety with facilities, but also reduce recidivism through rehabilitation, education, and programs. Correctional professionals are a vital part of the broader criminal justice system, contributing every day
to safer communities, both inside and outside facilities' walls. As we observe this week, we recognize that this commitment to public safety is foundational to our justice system. So let's take this opportunity to express our deep gratitude for the service, professionalism, and sacrifice of our correctional officers and employees. So I'm going to go on to read the proclamation. Do we have it here? And so, there we go. Okay. So, whereas since 1984, the United States has recognized the first full week in May as National Correctional Officers and Employees Week. And whereas Ramsey County employs over 300 full-time intermittent correctional officers and other employees who work in the correctional field, serving through both the Sheriff's Office and Community Corrections Department. Whereas Ramsey County correctional officers and employees serve as essential professionals who maintain safety, security, and order within the Adult Detention Center and the Ramsey County correctional facilities 24 hours a day, 365 days per year, often performing their duties under challenging and demanding circumstances. And whereas these dedicated individuals demonstrate integrity, professionalism, and commitment in protecting the public, supporting rehabilitation, and ensuring the humane treatment of those in the county custody and care. And whereas their work is often unseen by the public, yet it is vital to the effective operation of this justice system and the safety of our community. And whereas it is fitting to recognize and honor the contribution of correctional officers and employees whose dedication and service uphold the values of justice, safety, and respect. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Ramsey County Board of Commissioners declared the week of May 3rd through the 9th, 2026 as Correctional Officers and Employees Week in Ramsey County. And be it further proclaimed that the Ramsey County Board of Commissioners encourage all Ramsey County residents in expressing gratitude and appreciation for their essential and invaluable public service. Can we recognize them today? So we have two proclamations here to give out to and we open the floor to you.
Go ahead, Ashley. Good morning. I'm Ashley Bryant, Undersheriff of Detention Services for the Adult Detention Center. Mr. Chair, Commissioners, County Manager Becker, I also want to extend a thank you to RCCF for their strong collaboration and their commitment with Project Bridge. And Project Bridge is housing ADC inmates at the RCCF facility. That partnership has been essential to us maintaining stability, safety across our system, just being able to take some of the high population out of our facility. We're also working on further collaboration to extend that Project Bridge further in the future. At the Adult Detention Center, we continue to modernize and innovate. We have implemented tablets for those in custody, introduced no-cost telephone calling, no-cost video visitation. We've negotiated new food contracts and commissary contracts. We have continued the installation of the suicide prevention barriers. And we are currently working on medical unit upgrades, and we are replacing critical infrastructure like elevators. All this work happens in real time, alongside constant change where operations do not pause. We integrate these improvements while continuing to run a facility 24/7. And at the center of all of this are our correctional officers. They implement the new initiatives, adapt to constant change, and maintain order and professionalism in conditions where no day is truly positive. It is their presence that brings stability, consistency, and moments of humanity to individuals experiencing some of the most difficult times of their lives. They are not responsible for the challenges of the environment. They are the ones who manage it, stabilize it, and move it forward every single day. And unlike many professions today, this is work that cannot be done remotely. It cannot be delayed. It cannot be paused. The door's still open. The calls still come. The responsibility remains every hour of every day. In times when demands are high, that often means that fewer opportunities are available for them to step away and spend more time with their families and friends. That it's spent ensuring that the operations continue safely for everyone inside. What that highlights is the level of commitment that these professionals bring. It reinforces the importance of supporting them in ways that allow them to sustain the work over time so they can be present with their families when it matters, recover when needed, and return ready to perform at the level this profession requires. Because when we support them, they continue to show up at their best for the facility, for the community, and for each other. Our correctional officers are essential. Investing in them is necessary. And today I ask that we keep them front and center, recognizing their impact, valuing their work, and continuing to support the people who carry this responsibility every single day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chair Ortega, County Manager Becker, and members of the board. My name is Jamie Brish, and I'm serving as the Deputy Director of Facilities for Ramsey County Community Corrections. What's written in this proclamation reflects what our staff live every day. Correctional officers are responsible not just for security, but for managing individuals facing mental health crises, medical needs, and unpredictable situations, all in a high-risk environment. The work they do inside our facilities directly impacts the safety of our communities. It's demanding and at times dangerous work, but our staff continue to show up, act professionally, and treat people with dignity. We appreciate this recognition, and we ask for your continued support for the people doing this critical work. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
So I think we'll take a photo, and then each one of you can introduce yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we have questions.
Oh, so sorry. I just wanted to say there had been a couple of remarks that were regarding the difficult challenges that you all are facing every day, and I just wanted to say thank you. As somebody who is a strong mental health advocate, it is refreshing to me how each and every one of the officers that I have talked to in the short time that I've been here has put at the forefront the professionalism, the concern over the care and custody of individuals living with substance use disorder or severe mental health issues that are under your care and custody, that sense of care, responsibility, and wanting to make sure you have the tools to be able to handle that, to make sure that we are figuring out systemically how to have folks move to the places that they're going to receive care, because a jail cell is not where folks need to get care, and you all carry that burden every day. I also think that leadership is thinking about your health and well-being and the health and well-being of your families. And so we continue to listen and to learn and how best to resource the places and spaces that you are at so that we can best serve community and do that responsibility to make sure that you are supported as well. So just thank you. Thank you for everything that you do every day.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Oh,
if I
my
may.
son.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I also just want to really echo those sentiments. Thank you, Commissioner Jevon Singh, for saying that already. In addition to that, I want to also thank, all of the correctional officers who are working there as well. I know that it's a really hard job, and that you're there with folks who are there at one of their lowest times, points in times of their lives too, and so treating them with dignity and respect and care goes a long way already too, even in hard situations. Thank you for doing that. I also want to thank both Under Sheriff Bryant, Director Long, and Deputy Director Brish for working together. This is what one Ramsey County looks like. We absolutely have to work with each other to solve challenges that face us as a county in meeting both state and federal mandates. It's not finger pointing about who's doing what wrong, but it's really coming together to solve solutions. And I've just seen that incredible work through the Project Bridge. So thank you so much for that leadership. And then also thank you to our correctional officers for working through that as we are making those changes and also helping us make that process smooth. So thank you, and happy Correctional Officers Recognition.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to do a photo.
Yeah.
Morning.
Come up or in. One moment.
All right. We'll do 3 pictures. Count down from 3. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. And one more. 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Okay.
I didn't prepare a speech or anything today, so please understand. No, my name is Makai Lewis Frost, correctional officer, former mayor candidate, and organization provider here in St. Paul. At one time, I founded the Truth Center, 8-18 Truth Center, and I'm just glad to be a part of the correctional family now. Thanks so much.
Good morning. My name is Kylan Saffold. I've been in Ramsey County for about 9 months now, so I want to thank you guys for having us here and just for your support. Thank you.
My name is Sabrina Scott. I've been a correctional officer for 10 years now. I'm also a member of our Honor Guard, so you might see me out and about in the community. Thank you for having us here.
Hello, my name is Michael Krenz. I've been with the county for about 9 years, and now I'm working in the training unit at the ADC.
Hello, Mai here. I'm working with the correction of Ramsey County with about a year and 5 months now.
Welcome.
Mike Johnson, been with the Sheriff's Office for 23 years. Thank you.
Good morning. Gloria Reyes, Deputy County Manager for the Safety and Justice Service Team, and I am so proud to work alongside these fine correctional officers behind me.
Good morning. My name is Alexis Cuello. I'm with RCCF. Been there for 3 years, and hopefully some more. Thank you, guys.
Good morning. Kit Rocco, RCCF. Been there almost a year.
Good morning. My name is Devon Tramble. Been with Ramsey County for about a year and 5 months. Thanks for having me.
Morning, Chair, Commissioners, County Manager Nadir Abdi, Deputy County Manager, Health and Wellness Service Team. Thank you for having us today.
Correctional Officer Jonathan Dodds. June 11th, 9 years.
Hello, my name is Sanchez Brown. I've been with Ramsey County Adult Detention Center for about 5 years, been a union steward for about 4. Thank you.
Hello, how are you guys doing? I'm Marquine Bradford, correctional officer for 6 years.
Good morning, I'm Brett Borowski. I've been with Ramsey County for 15 years. Thank you.
Hi, Michelle Landers, RCCF. Been with the county for 21 years.
Good morning, everybody. Nate Landers, 18 years at Ramsey County. I'm a lieutenant at RCCF.
Hi, good morning. Steve Horgan, been with the county 33 years. I'm the assistant superintendent at the Ramsey County Correctional Facility.
Good morning, Kyle Shu. I'm a lieutenant with RCCF, and I've been there for about 10 years.
Good morning. Very proud to be here and proud of all of them. Tim Vasquez. I started as an officer at RCCF in 1998 and am currently the superintendent.
Morning. Brad Davis, RCCF, correcting things since 2005.
Good morning. Monica Long, the Director of Community Corrections.
I want to thank all our correctional officers and staff for the work that you do, the sacrifices that you make. And the one thing that stood out to me when I heard that the hard work you do and the commitment you have, but no day is really a happy day. All right, so thank you for sticking in there, for doing your work. Thank you for your leadership, and we appreciate you all. Thank you.
Administrative item boards, Commissioner McMurtry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move the following items. Item number 5, Third Amendment to Single Source Agreement with Environmental Systems Research Institute for Enterprise License Agreement.
Can I pull that?
That was number 6.
Item number 5. Item number 6, 2026 Special Board of Appeal and Equalization. Item number 7, Local Option Disaster Tax Abatement. Item number 8, Property Tax Abatements.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
McMurtry.
Aye.
Miller-Zexke Moran.
Aye.
Zhang.
Aye.
Jebin Singh.
Aye.
McGuire.
Aye.
And Ortega.
Aye. Item number 5, Commissioner Singh.
I'd like to move item number 5, the Third Amendment to Single Source Agreement with Environmental Systems Research Institute. And I guess had a question or a clarification on the uses and application of this agreement. I just to learn a little bit more about that, and then some of the explanation of the contract updates.
Yeah, thanks, Commissioner Jebin Singh. I have our COO, Alex Kutza, and also someone from IAS here as well. So
excellent.
Yeah, thank you.
I was like looking around.
Yeah, I think Matt's here.
Awesome.
Yeah, I thought I saw Matt. Yeah.
Awesome. Great. I'll just quickly introduce and then pass it on. Thank you for the question. I did spend a little time learning more about this, and I think it's a pretty interesting contract of how we do our work, first starting with partnering with the state and then moving on to do our own work, and how we've expanded this, kind of how we use this contract to do different things, and then I'll hand it over.
Good morning. Matt Kokel. I'm the Enterprise Platform Manager in IS for Ramsey County. So thank you for the question, Commissioner, Chair, County Manager. Specifically, you were asking about can you
Oh, sure. Just the uses and applications of the data that's in this agreement. Not everybody is in your technical world, and so enlighten us as to what it is that we are discussing today.
So GIS is Geographic Information Systems. What we're looking here today is the infrastructure that manages our mapping software. So any sort of spatial analysis, map making, aerial imagery, our assessors use it extensively. Pat is here for another reason, but it's the tools that bring together aerial imagery, geographics, geospatial data, so we can do things like analyze where to put the next healthcare facility or to serve our residents where there may be high need, but maybe a farther distance for them to travel. So we can kind of do some network analysis on streets, things like that. The data is used a lot by our assessors to look at changes in structures that we can see from aerial imagery, allowing them to stay in the office instead of going out and do remote work. So it's a much more efficient way of doing that type of work. It's used by our sheriffs in looking ahead to see we're going to a site. Let's pull it up as we're moving there and see entrances and exits, kind of get an idea of where they are. We're also using it to partner with our communities. Our fire chiefs are using it to throughout the county to assemble pre-fire planning options so they can look at buildings and know where are the dangerous chemicals, where are the electrical accesses, where is the hydrants, things like that. So it's what we're getting here today is the infrastructure to support all those various uses throughout the county.
Thank you for that explanation. I had a sense of some of the ways we were applying it, but that is a much more robust understanding and also highlights the number of partners and other groups that may be participating in this. And so my follow-up question to that is just some of the contract updates. You know, whenever we as a board are doing our piece of the puzzle of moving forward with the business, and some of that is this contract approval, we have to look at things like, you know, data security, the NDAs, the AI, using some of the sharing tools, just highlighting some of the changes. And I'm sure they're just updates as time has moved on and the contracts have to reflect the new realities of data and data sharing and data security. And I'm just wondering if you can maybe give us a sense of what some of those updates are and if there's any policy considerations we should be considering at the board level on that.
The software itself certainly allows us to maintain appropriate data security. And we take great care, I'd say, in ensuring that when we work with our partners, I'm trying to think through my head right now. I don't believe we have any truly non-public data. We have some sensitive data, and we do a lot of things with stripping out that before the data comes with us, things like the safe at home, that so data never comes to the GIS side. But there are, technically we certainly keep on top, I'd say, of our security. I don't know if the GIS itself has specific, I'm trying to think of specific security concerns that aren't more general IT concerns, and we maintain those through our security areas in that way, I'd say, to make sure our databases are secure, our infrastructure is secure that way.
And the bulk of the data you're talking about is public data, so it's, even though it's extensive with
Yes.
partners.
Yes. In fact, several years ago, we went ahead with a GIS initiative that the board approved for free and open data. I'm a strong proponent of saying all public data needs to be freely open and available, and so we practice that fully.
And my last thing is just, is there any additional benefits to that free and open data to the business community, to school groups, or anything like that as they're preparing for future development in the area or other kind of considerations?
Definitely.
And how would people access that if that's something that would be helpful for them?
We have multiple ways we make that available. The most common is the Minnesota GeoCommons, which is a statewide repository where different organizations submit data in a freely interchangeable format. And so we participate fully by putting almost all our data into that system to allow people to access it. And we also have several online portals where you can go on either through our open data portal and access it that way, or we have some web maps that allow people to directly download aerial imagery that we capture. So we have many different ways that we share, and we hear from people all the time saying, hey, I need data, I'm doing some sort of an analysis, can you get me X, Y, Z? And so we point them to those resources with great regularity. We also have a great partner with the Ramsey County GIS User Group, which is a non-county group. It's made up of all the municipalities, watershed districts, a number of other organizations that we meet with. We'll be meeting with them on Thursday where we share data and look to do common work.
Thank you, and thank you for the board for humoring that. Sometimes I just like to be able to show the back of the house, the things that are going on every day, that when we say we're data-driven and we're trying to do the best work that we can with the tools at our disposal, sometimes this is an opportunity to show some of that work that is otherwise invisible. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
McMurtry.
Aye.
Miller is excused. Moran.
Aye.
Zhang.
Aye.
Jebin Singh.
Aye.
McGuire.
Aye.
And Ortega.
Aye. Legislative update.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm happy to give the legislative update along with my colleague, Commissioner Moran. We meet weekly with our legislative team. Shout out to Jolie Wood and others on that team. So we're getting into the final weeks of session. The Senate continues to work through its omnibus bills. The Finance Committee is compiling several omnibus bills into one large appropriations bill, except for Health and Human Services will be separate. The House, by contrast, has just a few omnibus bills that they're working through the Ways and Means Committee, so it remains to be seen how they're going to reconcile the ways that both bodies are doing their work. So we're hopeful that some of the things that we care about will continue to be included in those bills. We regarding bonding bill, we're not. It's always we never know if it's for sure going to happen until the very end when it actually happens. Leadership is being asked to work on the bonding bill, so there's hope that there's going to be one. Our issues are continuing to be advocated for. Our Park at River's Edge, with all of our legislative colleagues, are continuing to talk to legislative leadership and the bonding committee members to make sure that our priorities are included in the bonding bill. And so we hope that there will be a bonding bill. And so we're just continuing to make sure that our issues are continuing to be in these bills. And so with that, Mr. Chair, I wrap up my report.
Thank you, Commissioner McGuire. County Connections?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a few things for you today. Ramsey County was honored with a certificate of appreciation last Friday. Deputy County Manager Reyes and I were able to go to the Metro Transit award ceremony over in Golden Valley, where they were honoring various community partners as well as their staff. We were recognized for our strong partnership in advancing the Safe and Strong Partnership, which brings law enforcement and public health responders to provide harm reduction, connect riders to resources, and meet people where they're at with compassionate on-the-ground support. I want to especially thank our County Attorney's Office, our Public Health Department, Social Services for all of their work. In addition, the Metro Transit Police Department also recognized County Attorney John Choi with the Chiefs Award for his leadership and commitment to community safety. Tomorrow, Commissioner Ortega and I are going to be over at Union Depot. Some of you know that later on this summer, we're also going to be celebrating the 100th anniversary of the historic transit hub. But on Thursday, we're going to be celebrating the grand opening of DG Pilot. It's a premier travel lifestyle store, and Commissioner Ortega will be offering some remarks. I wanted to put this in my update because I had a chance to talk to Donnie Gardner, who is a civically engaged entrepreneur. He's a pilot as well as a business owner, and he serves on the board of the St. Paul Downtown Alliance as well. But he expressed to me his gratitude for working with county staff as well as JLL, which is our partner managing things over at Union Depot. And he expressed how much gratitude he had for our paths of support for him as a small business owner, as well as that he's experienced significant growth since relocating to Union Depot. He moved from the Ham building over to Union Depot and said his foot traffic has increased 5 times since doing that. I just want to call out, he sells some very unique themed items. He is a leader in Minnesota as well as travel and aviation goods. And so if folks want to go over there and check that out, it's a great business in St. Paul. And then lastly, I wanted to call out that next Tuesday, May 12th, many of you met Dakota. He's a big part of the lead in working with our Heading Home Ramsey Advisory Board, and they're going to be hosting an event that they've done annually. I think this might be the second one now. Flipping Tables, it's called. It's a youth-led event at the Fairview Community Health and Wellness Hub in downtown. The event creates a place for those young people, especially those experiencing housing instability, to share their experiences in the workforce, speak openly about what they need. What makes this really meaningful, it's really led by the youth themselves through our Housing Stability Department. And rather than just being about programs, it's a chance for others to listen, learn, and build better pathways. Last year they held it at Landmark Center. I was able to go. I would really recommend people to stop by if you can. So thanks to Housing Stability, Workforce Solutions, other community organizations for helping to really listen to young people and to connect them to really people who can help them leverage, all that they can offer. So thank you.
You want to begin?
Sure.
Maishan?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to announce and share about the Reimagination Resource Center grant. It is $2 million of federal funds that the county had received in direct appropriations a few years ago. And CED just went through a process of identifying those organizations. And those are grants to help organizations enhance their service and expand their capacity for up to 2 years. So those include Women Venture, Latino Economic Development Center, Hmong American Partnership, Asian Economic Development Association, the Minnesota Consortium of Community Developers, African American Development Solutions, and Neighborhood Development Center. So I'm just glad that these dollars went out into the community to help support the community-based organizations that serve and support small businesses. Next, the the Ramsey and Washington Recycling and Energy Center just provided their 2025 annual report. I was able to attend the board meeting last week where we got the high-level overview of the 2025 annual report. And again, we saw a big reduction in the number of mattresses that were being thrown into the landfill. And I also believe that that's contributed to so much of the partnerships that we have with our city partners to make sure that we're diverting mattresses out of the landfill. So that's a really big win for us this year. Next, I joined the Red Rock Southeast Corridor board meeting. Red Rock was a plan to consider connecting St. Paul, downtown St. Paul, down along 61 there to the southern portion. And so since then, Washington County and Ramsey County has been working on this along with some of our city partners along the corridor there. We've decided that we'll just meet about just next year, just a few times, because the original plan was to have BRT, but it has changed now more to just bus service for regular service there. So that work has slowed down quite a bit. And then finally, I just want to mention about some events that are coming up so that folks are aware. Next week on Tuesday, the Payne-Phelan District Council will be hosting and having a conversation with Mayor Herr about Northern Iron and Machine, as well as other East Side issues that they are concerned with. And so that is available to the public who want to discuss issues related to the East Side. At the Arlington Hills Community Center it's not next week, but just announcing it for May 26th. So later this month, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Mary Jo?
Hey, thank you. Oh, let me get off mute. Oh yeah, I'm off mute. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to thank my colleague, Commissioner Zhang, for being at the Recycling and Energy Board meeting, and I'll just continue on with some of the things that we learned at that meeting, and thank you for highlighting the annual report. We also heard an update on the feasibility study on the Gerdau site, which is the metal reclamation site that's right next to our Recycling and Energy Center, and we're pulling together stakeholders to discuss interest in any future development of that site. So just one more step forward in exploring options for that site and for the waste that we have in our communities. Also, I just want to get it on your radar. The Recycling and Energy Center Hauler and Staff Appreciation Picnic will be held in August 27th. Just be aware this is coming up. Everyone's welcome. All of course the commissioners are welcome, are invited to attend. Also, their grant. They're doing a great job applying for grants and getting a number of those, and they're working down at the legislature on some of their platform priorities. You've been hearing about the infectious waste that we're receiving in our plant from the hospitals and medical facilities, and so we're really trying to work hard to reduce that and eliminate it. And I know that the legislature has, instead of passing a law that puts more teeth into the existing law, they're going to do a study on how it's going. We already know that it's not going very well, but they're going to do a study because it's cheaper to do a study. So we're disappointed, but we're grateful that at least the issue is still alive at the legislature, and we hope that that will get passed. So at least we'll have it in documented form, the infectious waste that's being put into the main waste stream when it's supposed to be singled out and it's supposed to be handled in a different manner, not just put in with everything else. So so we're grateful for all the work that they're doing there. Then also last week, our Environmental Center in Roseville continues to host a number of Ramsey County and community events. So we're just so excited that so many things are happening. The Plate to Garden event was there, and then on Monday they hosted a community event creating a more equitable future for climate action in Roseville. So it's just great to see that space being used. Also, there was a garden tool swap at the center. The next thing I want to just highlight for all of us is that this Friday, the Ramsey County League of Local Government is doing a session on Inside Minnesota's elections. So we're joining Minnesota Secretary of State Steve Steinman and Ramsey County Elections Manager David Triplett for a timely and in-depth look at Minnesota elections. So I don't know if you're seeing me or if you're getting my battery out here, but so that's the Ramsey County League this Friday at 8 in the morning. So we hope that everybody can join.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Singh?
Yes. Just a reminder that May is Mental Health Awareness Month in Minnesota, and just some basic statistics to ground us in this work is that in the U.S., 1 in 5 adults experiences mental illness in any given year, and more than 1 in 20 U.S. adults experience a serious mental illness each year. And to put that in perspective, that's over 1 million individuals in Minnesota who have a mental health condition. That's twice the population of Ramsey County. And I say that because we are still living with a sense of stigma and discrimination, and a time when we don't openly talk about mental health in the same way we do about physical health, and that it is so important that we embed this in all of the work that we do. And I just want to remind folks, when we talk about this, this is us, this is our families, this is our coworkers, these are the kids who go to school with our kids, they are our neighbors, and it is an important thing for us to always keep in the forefront. It impacts the work that we do, in all of the work that we do. And I just want to throw out a couple of resources. Ramsey County has their own adult and children's health crisis line. The children's mental health crisis line is 651-266-7878. And the adult mental health crisis line is 651-266-7900. And there are a number of resources along the continuum of care on our website. I also want to encourage folks to engage with NAMI Minnesota and NAMI Ramsey County, who is our local chapter, who provide ongoing education and support all of the time, along with our Ramsey County Children's Mental Health Collaborative, who has a lot of online supports to get people connected to services every day. Along with that, some of the work last week, Wednesday, I was able to attend the Shoreview Business Social. Lovely to see businesses interacting and getting the strength and support that they need from each other and building our communities. The Ramsey County Rice Creek Commons JDA met last week. We reviewed our initial draft working budget for the year and our project roadmap. We were able to again reiterate the Platinum LEED certification that the program or the project has, as well as highlighting it's important in the county's Building Stronger Together initiative, with the plans to invest our dollars into the infrastructure into Rice Creek Boulevard, which will be the spine road that will be one of the first pieces in getting that project up and running in full throttle. And then also that Arden Hills will be celebrating their 75th anniversary, so lifting that up as exciting time for that project. This coming week, 'tis the season for fundraisers and community events to lift up our nonprofit partners. On Wednesday, there is Solid Grounds Breakfast, the Every Family Needs a Home event. I'm excited to hear more about a site that they are opening in Vadnais Heights. The Northeast Youth and Family Services Lunch is also on Wednesday, and then the International Institute has their big gala event on Wednesday night, and so important with the work they do to make sure that new arrivals who are coming into our communities are supported, as they are such a rich part of the tapestry of our communities. And then on Friday, I'll be happy to attend the Asian American, Native, Hawaiian, and Pacific Island Cultural Celebration at our RCCF. It'll be a good day to be there. And also, I believe the plant sale is still going on, so I'm hoping to do a little double duty there. That's all I have.
Thank you. Garrison?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Wanted to get a quick update. So I sit on the AMC's County and State Medicaid Subcommittee, just as we start thinking about the implications of H.R. 1 as it's fully put into effect, specifically the Medicaid portion, come January of next year. This group of folks from counties, from DHS, from DCYF come together on a weekly basis to discuss how we as counties can prepare. One of the things I think that's pretty telling that's coming out of this legislative session is there seems to be a lot of bipartisan support around tech modernization, and so hopefully that is an important piece that we can get across the finish line before the end of this session. The other piece that came out of one of the discussions that we had as a group is how can counties now start preparing for what's to come? And one of the things, a couple of things they mentioned is just counties taking the steps of staying current on renewals, preparing for increased phone calls, understanding upcoming changes to non-citizen guidelines, and of course the work reporting requirements. All of these things that we know are going to have significant implications on some of our most vulnerable residents. And so figuring out how we as a county can prepare and mitigate those challenges as much as we can before H.R. 1 is fully implemented next year. So more to come as we start to close out this legislative session and as this working group continues to provide recommendations to the state on how we can work together and alleviate some of the pressure from counties. I'll keep the board, of course, updated. I know that Commissioner Zhang sits on the SNAP version of this committee as well. Yesterday, I also had a chance to attend the Generation Next Leadership Council meeting. It was a great opportunity to meet with a lot of the folks who do the work around closing the achievement gap and opportunity gap for so many students in our community. We had a chance to welcome Mayor Herr, who's the newest member of the board, and recap their annual meeting. And I think one thing that really stood out to me from their meeting was the theme of connection and community. I think especially with what so many of our kids have been experiencing over the last few months post Operation Metro Surge, to see our school districts, our cities really come together and showcase the importance of maintaining that connection and building off that momentum. We know that there's still a number of challenges that will come our way, especially as a result of this administration and how our schools are stepping up to make sure our students and their families get the resources that they need. So great meeting, and looking forward to continuing to work with that group. Last night, I also had a chance to speak at the North End Community Council, their annual meeting. They're one of the district councils here in St. Paul. The mayor was there to provide an update on things happening at the city, and I was there to provide updates from the county as well as answer questions from folks in the community. And these district councils are just another great opportunity to not only share about the work that we're doing, but just connect with folks in our neighborhoods. And so for those in St. Paul who may not be aware, definitely get involved with their district councils. It's a great opportunity to see neighbors and to stay connected on how you can do your part in our our community. Commissioner Jabin Singh mentioned the International Institute and their gala that's coming up tomorrow. I also want to put a plug in for the St. Paul Downtown Alliance. Their annual meeting is coming up tomorrow as well, and I know that the county will be present and showcasing our work to revitalize downtown St. Paul, and the fact that this is going to take a coalition of folks to get that done. So looking forward to that. And then finally, I just wanted to formally welcome Murray Goff, who is a senior at St. Paul Academy and will be interning with my office for the next month. He is already jumping in, so I don't know if I had a chance already to introduce him to everyone, so I'll be taking him around, but just wanted to formally welcome Murray to the team. That's it.
Thank you. Vina?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to open up first with County Manager Becker with an introduction of an honored guest that we have here in Minnesota. Got a phone call last night from a good friend of mine, Mohammed Amin Kahim, who stated that we had a distinguished guest here from Kenya. So I just wanted to, I said we couldn't do a proclamation today. It's a little last minute. We couldn't do anything formal. But I just, wanted to mention that because, the work that we do, sometimes we see this local work, but it can be, a global partnership that we can have and lessons learned of how we can do what we do to make the work that we do here even better. So I just want to recognize our guest, our distinguished guest here today, Ahmed Abdi Jama, who's here today. So Ahmed is a political consultant, mining sector leader, and social impact entrepreneur with a proven track record in advancing youth empowerment, sustainable development, and responsible resource management across Africa. He's also the senior political advisor to Dr. Oburu Odinga, who is second in command in the Kenyan government, and also is the advisor to the former Prime Minister of Kenya. He is widely recognized with his ability to mobilize and influence youth movement across the continent, aligning grassroots energy with governance, economic opportunity, and long-term stability. And just a little bit, through his advisory role, he bridges communities, institutions, and investors, ensuring inclusive and sustainable development. So I just want to mention that because that is really a lot of the work that we do here at Ramsey County and how we see the work in the world in which we live in. And so welcome to Minnesota, welcome to Ramsey County, and I hear that they're going to be doing something even bigger for you in Minneapolis on Thursday. But this is our day, so okay.
Welcome.
Okay, last week I did a few things. I had a meeting with our housing policy, with some housing policy statewide partners, Elizabeth Glidden from the Minnesota Housing Partnership, Kizzy Downey from Model City, Sadie Hart from Ida Young Center, and Stephanie Lewis, who is from the Greater Twin Cities United Way, who are all housing community leaders, to review a proposed constitutional amendment that they are leading aimed at creating a dedicated long-term funding source for housing stability across Minnesota. So they gave me an overview of what they are calling our Future Stars at Home proposal, which would generate funding through a small statewide sale tax increase to expand rental assistance, increase access to home ownership, and strengthen housing stability efforts. They was able to discuss the current legislative process of proposal that is moving through the House and the Senate. But also looking at the legislative progress of the proposal and how it could potentially complement existing tools like the Affordable Housing Aid, LAHA, which continue to support housing outcomes in our community. So this is like really important work for me, that we stabilize our community through housing. There's many of us who believe that housing is a human right and that we should all have it. And so I just want to say out loud to this group that I met with, all who I know very well, and I pushed back a little bit because, yes, we should look at home ownership opportunities, rental assistance to provide rent support and rental homes so more Minnesotans have a safe and stable home, looking at household and community stability funds to support people facing instability and homelessness with healthy and climate resilient homes. And all of those things are important, but I challenge them to look at this work through more of a comprehensive approach, because we have never made more investment in housing than we did when COVID hit our homes. But what we know is that homelessness continues to grow. So there's something else that we need to be doing, right? We want to equip individuals with the tools they need also so that we stabilize them, right? We need to also look at the homeless and look at the mental health pieces that are impacting the overall epidemic that we're going through right now. I think it has to be a really comprehensive piece of what we do and how we do it. In addition to looking at home ownership, rental opportunities, support for rental housing so that people are not facing, in front of a judge to be evicted. We got to do this better. So I want them to know I believe in this work. I believe that we have to do this work, but we have to do something differently too, because otherwise we are investing millions and sometimes billions of dollars. But what are we doing to stop the crisis that is happening, right? And so we got to think about that. We got to think about, do we do all of this or we do some of this and have a real impact? That's a discussion that we have to have. And so, but it's a good meeting with some great people leading the way and doing great things. They also have 80 other organizations who are supporting this initiative. Nothing will happen this year in the legislature, but they will be coming back next year. So as they think about that, I'm challenging them to think at this work through a more comprehensive way and bringing in those other partners that's not just focused on the housing piece of it. I had a great opportunity last week to join the Frogtown community for a Family Spring celebration hosted at St. Paul Parks and Recreation Center at the Frogtown Community Center. It was a great place. It was a little chilly out there, and everything was outdoors, but it was a great evening of community just showing up and participating. And I walked into that space, and who was there other than our sheriff's department cooking hot dogs and hamburgers and giving out refreshments. So it was just a really great moment of seeing community gathering outside, families gather to celebrate the arrival of spring, connecting with one another, and enjoying a welcoming community center environment. And also, Ramsey County had a table there too. So it was great to see Ramsey County there with a table and to meet and gather with Ramsey County staff. This celebration reflected the strength in community in Frogtown, bringing people together across generations to connect, share, and build relationship in a safe and supportive setting. And I just want to end with the recognition of one of our great leaders here in St. Paul, who was raised in St. Paul, who's a native of St. Paul, Tony Shannon. Tony has been doing some great work here in St. Paul, done abundance of work on the east side of St. Paul with youth. He showed up big time during the pandemic to really support our youth in the park through do our educational front, workforce development. But Tony Shannon was inducted into the National Soccer Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Tony. I mean, that is an acknowledgement that we need to recognize, and I'm giving him a clap there. So he was inducted to the National Soccer Hall of Fame. I want to acknowledge Tony's contribution to early Major League Soccer success and his role as a member of the U.S. men's national team. His induction as part of the 2026 class reflect both his on-field excellence and his lasting impact on the game. I also recognize his continued investment in community through youth development, mentorship, and wellness initiative, demonstrating leadership that extends far beyond the field. I celebrate this milestone as a reflection of the talent, the resilience, and the leadership rooted in Ramsey County and across Minnesota. Great work, Tony, and we appreciate your leadership that has gone well beyond the soccer field, right into our community right here in St. Paul. And that is it for me.
Thank you. I'll begin by saying today's Cinco de Mayo, but we had a two-day celebration on the west side. First of all, it has to be I marched with Betty McCollum, and I was telling Betty and I, we were both saying how the weather was like perfect. Usually it's cold or it's raining, but it was a perfect day. There were tens of thousands of people out there. It was a huge success, and so congratulations to Franco and all the community organizers. After COVID, the community, there was no celebration. Community took over. So this is now being run by the community, not a professional outfit. And it was wildly successful. The other thing is the Science Museum Gala. I attended that, and that had a great turnout. And of course, we have a long history with the Science Museum. We donated the property that they built the museum on 30 years ago, so 25 years. And great turnout, and it's important because we want to make sure the Science Museum stays healthy and stays in St. Paul. The other thing is the Regents Hospital. Yesterday I attended the ribbon cutting for the expansion of the emergency room. It is huge. You know, we see over 100,000 people into the ER every year, 100,000 people. And that, given what might happen with HR1, that could become even bigger. So the fact is they added some 3,500 square feet more to the emergency room. The facilities are fantastic, more private for people coming in, so more humane in my mind rather than being, we had people lining up in hallways. But it was a great event and fantastic work on behalf of the hospital staff to get this done in a pretty short order within a couple of years. So congrats to them. Following the county board meeting, we have a workshop, and let me get my cheat sheet here. Understanding State Hospital Utilization and Rising Costs by Commissioner Singh. And then a 1:30 board workshops on state-operated services, direct care and treatment by Commissioner Moran chairing. I guess that's it. We'll take a 5-minute break, then go to the workshop. Thank you. We're adjourned.